That he's a veteran in the world of ad filmmaking is known to one and all, but did you know that Prahlad Kakkar is now busy creating entrepreneurs through his own school? And it's a 2-year course that you can sign up for, where you'll be made to do everything from skydiving to catching snakes in a farm, all in an effort to bring out the risk taker within you. I caught up with him in a candid chat. Take a look at this.
Most of these are tech apps. Okay, most of these young techies look at say somebody like Bhatia, who made his thing in Hotmail and sold it for huge amounts of money and retired to the Bahamas or wherever he's retired to, for the rest of his life. That's the bubble dream that they all dream about. That's not an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is a guy who puts his soul, passion, and sells his house to do his startup because he's not getting funding because nobody believes in his idea. And everybody is looking for a one-off deal. 1 out of 1,000 get a one-off. 999 people flop it on the way. That's not entrepreneurship. Because anybody who wants to sell his company, lock, stock and barrel to the highest bidder, is not an entrepreneur.
So you would say that we are talking about this at a time when the biggest tech deal of 2016 has happened, where Microsoft has bought out LinkedIn, another startup which got listed and then eventually got bought up, giving rise to talks like the fact that social is the way to go for big tech companies, and big tech companies will snap up. So you're saying that LinkedIn will be that 1 out of the 1,000, and the rest of the 999 will have to find a way to drive their business forward.
No, they will not find a way to drive a business forward because the bubble will burst, and it's bursting, and the funding will dry up. So where are they going to get the funding from? And even if the Indian government is willing to fund them, they're not stupid. How come Indian banks don't fund startups? Only international funds actually fund startups.
Getting back to your school for entrepreneurship, there is a lot of corporate heavyweights participation as part of your school, and also which means that people who complete the entrepreneurship course will also get to pitch to some of the biggest names in startup world in India, including the likes of Mahesh Murthy, so to speak. Talk to us about that. Entrepreneurs joining your school, will have the benefit of, some of the people who have made it in the world of entrepreneurship.
Not only are they going to be their mentors, and they have access to them as teachers and as mentors, but also we will always put up a group of angel funders who will listen to their ideas, almost like Shark Tank, And if they like what they're hearing, and that these kids are competent because they've done 2 years of this kind of thing, then they will give them a seed fund to actually start rolling and start their own companies for whatever it's worth. Now, the most important thing about the entrepreneurship course is what is not written in the curriculum, which is that when they complete 2 years, where do they do their summer training? There is no summer training. We are going to form a company which takes over sick companies from banks. Okay? And they're going to run it for a year with the faculty.
Prahlad, would you say that venture capitalists in India are completely risk averse?
Yeah, because they've learned the hard way that all this is a pie in the sky, it's a bubble. And that everybody from abroad is looking at India as the tech center of the world because we have so many techies here and there's so many software developers that they think that that's the way forward. Entrepreneurship is not just tech, because what happens here is tech becomes the prominent story. The story is the story of what you want to sell. Tech helps you sell the story. Tech doesn't become the story.
But is it still going to be an art film office, so to speak? Is it Prahlad Kakkar's art film office genesis, which is continuing to be the way it is, or is it in terms of now that is going to be? I don't understand. Is it going to be Prahlad Kakkar School of Entrepreneurship? Talk to us about that.
All our individuals are taught that every one of them is a brand, and they must understand the value of that brand and what value they bring to the table, because a brand is only calculated by the value that it brings. That's it.
Yeah. So it's not about the valuation of the startup or the idea that you've managed to secure funding for. It's also your own valuation, what you are capable of. That's going to be very important in defining the kind of entrepreneur that you're going to be.
And the kind of people that we've created. And all the people who are now coming back and saying, okay, it's payback time. We're going to give you 1 month of our lives and teach these kids as to what the business of reality is, what is entrepreneurship, what is risk. And anyway, you're going to make them jump out of planes, handle snakes, ride horses, go scuba diving with sharks.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/etnow.